Now we're going to go ahead and get started with the IK handles and mirroring over the joints that we've got established. Now we're going to talk about two different types of IK handles. Now IK stands for inverse kinematics. Think of animating your arm by first lifting up your elbow, moving out your wrist, rotating your palm, moving down your finger. That's a very complex way to animate. That's called forward kinematics. By using inverse kinematics, what you would do is imagine taking your index finger and just pulling it into the position you want. Your elbow follows, your shoulder rotates, everything kind of moves together. That's what we're going to be simulating with the IK handles. So what we're going to do is, first of all, we'll activate our IK handles. We'll go to Skeleton, IK Handle Tool. Again, go to Option Box, since we haven't used this before, and reset the tool. All right, you notice we have a current solver. It says IK RP solver. So that's IK inverse kinematics. And RP is rotate plane solver. If you remember from geometry, you need 3 points to solve a triangle. So the first point would be this hip, the second would be the ankle, and then the third would be an imaginary point out here, which later we'll call a pole vector. So those 3 points make a triangle or a plane that this joint chain resolves on. Now the other type is an SC, or what's called a single chain solver. Think of that as like your finger. Your finger only moves in one direction. However, your elbow moves in a wide variety of positions. All right, we'll start off with the RP, since we want our knee to be able to move in and out. And to draw these IK handles, it's very simple. You start with where you want to start it. So we'll start at the hip, and we want to go to the ankle. Now the minute you do that, you notice you get this little handle, okay? This little crosshair that you see, that's called a handle. And we can activate our Move tool, select that handle, and we can now pick up our leg and kick with our leg and do all kinds of cool stuff. What this is going to give us the ability to do is lock our ankle at this position. So later when we draw the upper body, we'll be able to move her body down but lock her foot right here. That's great, but we want to lock the foot as well. So let's go ahead and reactivate our IK handle tool. But this time, since the foot itself doesn't really, our toes flex up. That's about it. They don't flex, different degrees. So let's set this to single chain. All right, and we'll go from our ankle to the foot itself, the ball of the foot, and I'll hit Y to activate that tool again, and we'll go from the ball of the foot to the toe. Okay, so this has given us 3 new IK handles to work with. Let's go ahead and name these IK handles so it's a little bit easier to find later on. Okay, this one's going to be IK handle underscore left leg. Okay, this one is going to be, we're going to leave IK handle, we're going to say SC for single chain, left foot. And we're going to do the same type of naming structure for the toe there. We'll just put it in underscore SC left toe. All right, very good. Now, I turned off the reverse foot control here. As you can see, I turned that off just for a second, so it was just easier to describe what was going down. Obviously, you don't have to turn that off while you're working. It just makes it a little bit easier to work with. All right, so we'll take this ankle IK handle, and let's move up this reverse foot just a little bit back to where we originally drew them. So now that this isn't an issue for us, we can see what's going on. All right, we'll take the IK handle, shift select that joint right there, okay, the reverse lock ankle, and hit P on your keyboard. Now verify that cap locks is not turned on. Any of these shortcuts, there's a capital P and a lowercase p. We're going to be using just the lowercase p. Okay, that's for parent. Now, what I did was I just parented this IK handle to this joint. What's that do for me? Well, now I can pick up this reverse foot control here, and that will pick up my leg. Okay. Now you notice that the toes are pointing off in their own direction, so we're going to work on those next. again, we'll take this left foot IK handle, shift select this left foot reverse joint here, hit P to parent. Okay, we'll do the same with the toe. We'll select this handle, shift select the toe, hit P. Now, if you take a look, if I move this control, notice how, and all I'm doing to reset that is to hit undo. Okay, notice how my leg bends nicely. Okay, got a lot of control here. But my toes are locked in nicely, which is perfect, and that's what I want. Okay, let me undo that back to my start here. All right, that's done very nicely. Let's now talk about mirroring our joints. So since we've already drawn one side, there's no point having to set up the other side from scratch. We want everything to line up. So we'll use a mirroring function here. So we'll select the top here, this left hip. Notice everything started with left. Okay, and that's going to be very useful here in just a second. So I'm going to take this guy. We'll go to Skeleton, Mirror Joint, Option Box. All right. I need to determine which axes or which plane I want to mirror across. So if I look right here in my little feedback, I see YZ. If I was to make a plane right there, it would make a mirror that would split my creature or my object in half. So that would be perfect. YZ. We want to mirror the orientation of those joints. And here's a nice little added feature. I want to replace the word left with the word right. So as it goes through, it's going to find names that say left and then call them right. So all I'm going to do is hit mirror. There we go. Okay, if we take a look here, this is called the right hip, the right knee. My IK handles have the word right already slipped into them. Okay, looks perfect. Let's do the same with this reverse foot control here. All right, I'll go ahead and go to Skeleton, Mirror Joints, because I want the same thing to happen here. I want the word left to be replaced now with right. Okay, so while I have it selected, I'll go ahead and add it to the right controls. So that way I have a little bit of color coding here as I'm working. And only thing I forgot to do here, or have left to do, is to parent the ankle IK handles to the ankle joint for the reverse foot. So we'll just hit P. Okay. Select the handle, select the joint, hit P. Select the handle, select the joint. And if you don't remember P, you can always go up here to Edit, Parent. All right, let's go ahead and do a quick little test. Just verify that everything is working. That looks good. Looks good. Looks good. All right. Very good. So next we'll take a look at building control curves. So it's a little bit easier than having to select, getting right in here and selecting that little joint. We're going to try and make it a little bit easier by using a control curve.